Well, all right, here we are once again, Friendship. You know what time it is. You know who I am. Pastor Bobby D. Hamilton from the Great Friendship Church, and it is Move Monday. Yes, I know a storm is coming. It's our turn living along this Gulf Coast line. Eventually, it always makes its way to the greater Houston area. And now it's our time. They're telling us that floods are coming, rains are coming, and get ready, get ready. You may have to have an arc or two around the city. But you know it's Monday, and you know what happens on Move Monday. No matter if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's flooding, if it's hurricane, if it's a hurricane, no matter what it is, on Move Mondays, we move. And so today I want to encourage you to move. I know that it's raining. I know people are going to the grocery stores and stocking up, buying batteries, buying food, buying water, buying Gatorade. I understand right now they're going out now trying to get the generators, gasoline for the generators, and rightfully so. Take every advantage possible, take every precaution possible. But on Move Mondays, what do? We move. And so I've had the opportunity, by the grace of God, to get out this morning and run, to get my miles in, put my cap on, put my running parka on, to slosh in my shoes and my socks, and get the run in. And so this morning I want to encourage you to move today. In spite of everything, you might have to diversify how you move, but by all means, do move. And let me just give a big old shout out to some of the seniors that I've been talking to. Some of y'all are just doing this thing. You have got this thing rolling. Sister Luella Howard, who's gone back to the mall in the morning time and walking at the mall, using that mall to get her miles in and just doing that thing. So I want to applaud Sister Howard for just finding a difficult way, not getting in the sun, not getting in the rain, but getting into the flow and moving your body as a senior. Look at you, look at you. Sister Martha Kelly, I want to give you a big shout out. Sister Martha Kelly, who's in her 70s, but she's a young 70, oh yes she is, went and got a treadmill and is moving the treadmill. The treadmill is not simply holding her clothes. It's not simply holding her drinks. It's not simply there as a device for a flat screen TV. Martha Kelly is working out. She's making sure she's sweating, y'all. She's getting in her miles on a treadmill. Can you imagine that? Brother Clyde Richardson, who's a senior, but a different kind of senior, because Clyde Richardson goes into the local gym, pumps that iron, gets in those miles. He's stronger than some 40 and 50-year-olds. Brother Clyde is a man who's made up his mind that when I go out, I'm going to go out of here, but I'm going to go out of here in shape. And so I want to thank all of you who are seniors who have decided to just move. Now, some of you who are not seniors, some of you who are in your 40s and your 50s and your early 30s, some of you who are near 60 ought to be ashamed of yourself, because you could move, but you've chosen not to move. Not move to the refrigerator, not move to the sofa, not move to your favorite recliner, but to actually go out and to move, to actually sweat, to actually be able to pick up one foot behind the other foot, to actually do some calf raises, do some toe raises, to actually to be able to move your body that the Lord has given you. You know what this is about. This is not about throwing shade. It's about taking care of our temples that God has given to us. For all the swimmers, I ask you to move. For all the cyclists, I ask you to move. For all those who just enjoy going in the backyard and going from fence to fence as you cut your yard with your new motorized lawnmower, that constitutes a move. For the rest of you who are walking your dogs and walking your cats and walking your animals, that constitutes a move. So whatever you're doing to move, I want to just applaud you. I heard from some of you who've gone and do your old football workout. Some of you are going to do shell drills and slide drills. That constitutes a move. We're just simply saying that if God allows us to see a Monday, we may have different physical capabilities, we may have different strength levels, we may have different desires and drive, but we're going to make sure that we move our bodies. We're not going to sit there and just become what had happened was. We're going to make sure that, God, you've allowed us this day. You've allowed us some beautiful homes. You've allowed some beautiful staircase. That can be used as an instrument of moving. So whatever you're doing today, I know it's raining and the storm is coming, but also Monday has come, and Monday is our move Monday. Now, as I'm talking about our moving, let me move on to something else. Yesterday at the Friendship Church, God allowed us to continue this series we're in discipleship, talking about let's follow the Son. And I was able to preach on a very familiar passage. Although it is a familiar passage, it many times eludes us or escapes us to the application of that familiar passage. Out of John 13:33-35, Jesus talked about love. And we hear that one of the most misused words in our modern day vocabulary is the word love, because we all talk about it. But Jesus moved that love thing up to another level. Jesus started talking about loving even as I have loved you. Jesus made us the marker of love. The standard of love is himself. Oh my goodness, do you know what that means? That all of our lesser loves, all of our dumbed down loves, all of our love saying only at this level, he erased all of that. And Jesus is saying two things. He's saying, number one, listen, your love must be consistent with the way I've loved you. So how did I love you? And then it also is saying that your love is such a status that it lets the world know how I operate, who I am, which implies that when we don't love the way Christ loved, the world gets a wrong view of Christ. The world thinks that our Christianity is a sham. The world thinks that our Christianity is rooted in radical racism, and it's not. He's saying that the world is really reading me by reading you. And many times they get a misrepresentation of who I am because of the way that you love. Now, isn't this an awesome, awesome word? Because you know and I know that many of us have heard about the love of God all of our lives. But to experience the love of God has eluded many of us for most of our lives. Here's a question for you on Move Monday. When did you first really comprehend and experience the love of God? When did you really come to understand it's not just John 3:16 in the Bible, but when did John 3:16 take up residency, bivouacked in your heart? When did you really believe that the Lord loved you? Not loves them and not loved those, but loved you. What was that day? What was that event in which the love of God allowed you to understand that now you don't have to chase love? You don't have to be someone who tries to barter for love. You don't have to be someone who does things that you regret in the name of love, because you know that unequivocally that God genuinely loves you. When did you really get that? And here's the second thing. Who's the tough person or the tough people in your world right now that the Lord is calling you not to have revenge against, not to hate against, not to gossip against, but to genuinely love? Who is the man? Who is the woman? What child do you have? What grandchild do you have? What employee, what employer do you have? That the Lord is calling you to be a person that genuinely loves them. Now, love doesn't mean that you just simply kiss people's butt. Love doesn't mean you don't tell people the truth. Love implies that I do sacrificially do what's best for you, whether you deserve it or not. But I'm not going to kowtow to you. I am not going to resist telling you the truth. No, love implies all of that. Love always includes a level of accountability, absolutely. But it also suggests that just this, that love is able to bring healing. Love is able to allow you to begin again. And today what the Lord is calling you to do on this Move Monday is to begin to let the Spirit of God to take over your spirit of fear, to take over your spirit of doubt, to take over your spirit of hopelessness, and institute a spirit of love that you can genuinely love. It's so easy if they love you back. We have all pinpointed people who are easy to love, that we like being around, we like going to their homes, we like going to the movies with them, we just like being around them, and they're easy to love. But the love that Christ brought forth to us wasn't an easy kind of love, because the Bible says in John 1:11, he came to his own received him not. So it wasn't easy. And you got somebody in your circle of influence. You got somebody right now who you're trying to excommunicate from your circle of influence because you're having to love them. That means to do what's right by them. It's not an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. It's a cross for you. Christ gave a cross for us. We got to sacrificially get on the cross. Maybe your marriage can be on the road to restoration. Maybe you and that great divot you have, that great divot divide between you and your children could begin to be a bridge of hope if you love them. Maybe you could go and call your father who left you when you were young, and your mother who may have given you away when you were young and never explained the reason for leaving or giving you away. However, maybe through love, you're able to give them what they never had, and that is authentic, God-centered, God-given love. Love covers a multitude of sins. Love brings healing. Love is not something you just hear on a CD. Love is not just simply some blues song. Love is not just simply some erotic movie. Love is not simply emotionally based. It is action based. So you don't feel it. Then guess what? You're not supposed to always feel it. Do it and you'll start to feel it. God is calling us today to be a people that properly represents Him. And the way we represent Him to this dark, dank, dungeon, despot type of world is through love. It's through love. Don't mean you hold your lip. Love, it doesn't mean that you're afraid to speak the truth, but it's through love. Oh, today God is calling you to love. So who you gonna love? And how you gonna love them? And how long are you gonna love them? If the Lord said to love, and by this all men will know you my disciples, it suggests God's gonna bless it. Oh, I know He's gonna bless it. He's already blessing right now. You remember that old song, the Lord is blessing me right now. I can't sing it, but I sure have learned to live it. Thank God for it. Now you go move, and you go call somebody else. As part of your loving them, encourage them to move and tell them that you're moving. The storm's coming. Oh, yes, it is. But we're ready. We're ready, because the Lord whom we serve has made us ready. Now, go move today. And while you're moving, don't forget to love. Hey, I'll see you next week. I'll see you on Wednesday night at the Friendship Church, a place to begin again. Let them see your mark, because you're someone who loves. Have a great day. See you soon. Woo, it's raining out here. Lord.